Okay. Costa Rica movie thingy. Take one. The current date is now January 3rd, 2016. Whew, what a way to start the new year. In the next month, I'm going to be spending my time learning about the culture and the ecosystem that is Costa Rica. It's going to be quite a trip studying abroad in Costa Rica, all thanks to the wonderful staff at Elon University. It's going to be quite an adventure, but at the same time, it's going to be quite daunting to be really just out of my element and in a foreign country with a host family for a whole month. I've never done anything like this before. I've really never done anything like this all by myself. But right now, we are at day 0 of 30. And tomorrow will be the first day of travel. I did, find myself to be very lucky at this point because I want to thank my dad, Greg Brown, for booking this connecting flight hotel at the DoubleTree. This is a really nice room, and the woman at the front desk gave me a cookie. So I think I'm going to eat that now. Not bad for something with walnuts in them. I gotta put this thing down. I'm gonna document basically everything that happens on this trip to the best of my abilities. I'm not quite sure if I'll have enough space on my phone camera to be able to record all this footage, but, I'll, again, get as much as I can, and hopefully whomever watches this will really enjoy this. Tomorrow I'll be meeting my host family. I will be, speaking as much of the language as possible. I have to hablo español for the whole month, for at least to the best of my abilities. It's been a while since I've spoken semi-fluent Spanish, but, it's getting out of my element, but jumping into something that I've semi-prepared for. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to, run into any sort of trouble whatsoever. I think things are going to be great. And now, I'm going to jump into that big old bed right there and go to sleep. Okay, pajama time. Bedtime. God, I'm gonna give you one of these. This thing is so soft. It's like that thing where you've just had a long day of doing nothing, and so it's just good to sit back and relax. All right, now I'm gonna get in bed. Cozy. See you on the other side. Here I am with my study abroad trope. I'm about to head out to Costa Rica. This is going to be quite the flight. I'm coming back to the place I used to call my own, to figure out that all I once knew lives in tragedy. And I sit here and I wonder why
All I knew is a barren wasteland, wasted in the recess of my past. Long ago I used to live in this place that would treat me oh so cruelly, which could have been the bane of my future. The people stare at me in disbelief, and they wonder why I would ever return to a place I wanted to leave. I could say now that I've gotten my revenge, but I never expected that I would ever see these people's deaths in my own eye. Inspires me to
They don't have any Dr. Pepper in Costa Rica. Why is there no Dr. Pepper in Costa Rica?
This is stop number 1 on the trip. We are currently at a huge coffee factory where a lot of the coffee beans are made and stuff. You know, the thing I just will never be able to comprehend as a whole is just how beautiful Costa Rica looks. There's the study abroad trope behind me. I'm gonna just take the camera with me, take a couple pictures of the place, and then circle around back with everything else. And if you're wondering how I've settled in currently, last night was just beautiful. The host family that I'm staying with, they are really nice. They have a lot of great family values. And also, I can tell you now that they do have a guitar, so I'm going to be basically spending a lot of time just practicing on it and just working to be able to, you know, do what I can to improve myself musically now that I'm in a different country. I feel like it's going to be like that kind of thing where I'm in a, you know, different folks, different strokes kind of deal with everything. But right now, how about we just take a look at everything that's going on here? I sure do hope that I don't get too all hopped up on the caffeine and stuff. I'm going to take it easy this time around. I'm not a huge coffee drinker, but God, what is with these landscapes? The trees look absolutely amazing. And this is where the best coffee is grown, according to them. I mean, I wouldn't know, but still, I just gotta ask, how do you people drink this stuff? It tastes awful. It's a good thing that this trip isn't gonna get me hooked to coffee by the time I'm done. At least that's what I think. Oh God, am I a coffee addict now? I hope not. Those red things on the coffee plants are actually where the coffee beans come from. And I know it's really weird to say, but I actually tasted a couple of them, and they actually taste pretty good. Like, very sweet. I'm gonna get a close-up. This is what the coffee beans look like. You pick the reddest ones, and that's where the coffee comes from. I haven't seen any monkeys in the trees yet. That could either be a really good thing or a really bad thing. They have like every single type of plant growing here. I'm talking about bananas with coffee beans and all kinds of fruits. Everything is all natural. You could just pick something off and eat it right now if you wanted to. Well, you probably wouldn't want to do that because that's, you know, taking their property. But just look at this stuff. It's amazing. now I kind of wish that they wouldn't kill the rainforests because of all the natural life. I wonder how they deal with all kinds of animals trying to get their food. That would be a good question for the century. But this is quite a walkthrough. If you were here now, you'd just be taking it in, just like I'm taking it in right now, or at least trying to take it in. Alright, let's see what this part's all about. Da 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 da. Well, after a long day of touring through this wonderful coffee factory, I got to taste chocolate that tastes like pineapples, chocolate that tastes like passion fruit. All the flavors tasted so good, I didn't know what to get, so I got a couple for myself and for the host family. Honestly, I've never seen anything like it. It's just that good. I think the best part about really just coming to this coffee factory would be the fact that I just got to see everything being made natural, and I did get to taste a little bit of the coffee, and oh, here comes the sunlight. I did get to taste a little bit of the coffee, but it didn't taste too good because, you know, I'm not usually a coffee drinker. Now, if my mom was here, on the other hand, she would love this, but, you know, it's still cool either way. And now I'm on my way back, thus completing day number 1. I'd just like to take a second to point out that this is where I've been doing my studying part for the study abroad trip. This is the ICADS Institute, and yeah, it's basically a paradise. I am really in love with all the features, especially considering that just, you know, right where, you know, my classroom is, there's a banana plant right there. See it? It's some bananas. Woo! Yeah, bananas, bananas, bananas. Okay, I've overstayed my welcome. I gotta get to class. In preparing for my second day here in Costa Rica, I've really gotten to adjust to my host family, living with my host family, and going to the school they have here for the people that are in the study abroad program. They call it ICADS to be specific. But really, it's more or less just an experiential thing. And that's kind of what I did today. That's what I'm doing tomorrow. I've got my schedule with me. Right now, I'm just going to hang around the house and really just try to get adjusted. I might see if there's something I could do with the family tonight. I really just want to try and get to know them more. I think it's important that I really try and take as much in as possible. But this is my room either way. I got what I need, really. Place to plug in my phone, you know, luggage, bathroom. I don't really use the TV, to be honest. But, you know, either way, it's been good because I've been able to relax, and with the limited internet access that I've gotten, I've been able to tell everybody that I'm still alive, so that's good. So now I'm just gonna lie here and wait until tomorrow to just really get back into the swing of things. I've got a lot to prepare for, and I've got a lot to read too. Okay, for our next part of walking through the forest, we're gonna... Oh, psyched you out, that was just a miniature. So this is the next part of our trip. We are at the Museo de Oro. That's the Gold Museum, and other artifacts of ancient history in Costa Rica. So far the place looks really nice. They have all kinds of nice little things here. And now let's see if we can just move on and... Oh, look at that. That's some gold right there. Let's see what this says. Watch out, because here comes the Jag. That's what the cool kids say if you want to say, like, the Jaguar. Here comes the Jag. Actually, this table right here is a game. You have to see these gold pieces here and try and figure out what animal they represent. See, this one at here, this one looks like a toucan. So you have to push this and the toucan button, and the toucan should light up. See? Here we see a few more sculptures that you can turn. See?
Oh yeah, actually we did do that.
DJ MC Brown.
You stopped. Yeah, like whole okay. I stopped.
I'm not gonna lie when I say that this museum is actually pretty cool. And now, here we have some of the people who have been taking the same class with me. Some of me compañeros, if you may. See this guy behind me? That's my bud Carrie. Carrie, get over here. So how are you liking the trip so far?
I think it's a lot of fun. I'm having a good time.
You sound like my grandmother, honestly.
I'm gonna read some of this and then I'll get back to you.
Yeah, great. This museum is very informative. I'm so glad we came. At last, I had control of your monitor. Am I transmitting? Good. Welcome to the cutting room floor. This is where I'm editing the documentary that you're currently watching right now, as you can see on the screen here. My editing room is located deep within a secret base where nobody can find me. Marshall! Are you masturbating again? Shut up, Mom! Now, before we go any further, I'd like to take some time to actually provide a little bit of explanation as to continue with the flowing narrative of this documentary. As you know, this Elon University Study Abroad course took place in Costa Rica, and we had to take some classes pertaining to improving our Spanish and improving our knowledge of the culture there. While we did take a pre-departure course before we went to Costa Rica, I will say we really were getting our hands dirty, so we had to always continuously learn more and more while we were there. And man, were those classes great? Good, tolerable. So overall, the point of me mentioning these classes was the fact that, you know, they obviously existed, and I definitely had to talk about them because they really did serve to improve our knowledge. But I have no such footage of me or anybody else in any of those Spanish classes or in any of those culture classes we had in Costa Rica because they don't really serve to better the story or make for an interesting narrative whatsoever. Basically, they were classes. Do you really want to see that in this documentary? No! You want to see action! You want to see flying and jumping and fighting and girls and all that fun stuff. And I'm going to try and bring you that. But before we move on, I need to get through some of the concrete facts that all of you need to know because these facts are substantial and important to understanding the central concepts. Another important thing you should know about Costa Rica is the Costa Rican money that we had to work with. Money was very important, and so was their form of currency. This right here is a Costa Rican colon. Colon is the official money of Costa Rica, kind of like how Spanish is the official language of Costa Rica. This right here is 1,000 colon, and a mil or 1,000 is basically worth around $2. We had to have plenty of this for the trip for all of our expenses, not, you know, that we haven't already paid for just basic meals that would be covered on day trips. But of course, you need to just have money on you because you never know what could possibly happen. That being said, consider this somewhat of a keepsake, and consider this a visual representation of what happened to everyone's money at the end of the trip. Bye-bye. As for myself, I will be popping up here and again in this little feature, explaining a few things if I need to explain a few things. But for now, let's get back to the story. I'm going to edit in now the part where everybody is in the town square with the whole pigeons on the city and everything. We saw a street musician too, so I'm sure y'all will love that. So sit back and enjoy.
Yo, he's got like a flanger or phaser effect on that. Let's go to a different angle. Yeah.
Okay, now run through them. I got it. It's still going.
Man, what I'd give to play here. This is the Teatro Nacional de Costa Rica. Never seen anything like this before. It's pretty well lit, very classic. That chandelier feature in the top of the roof, very nice. Now we're gonna see the rest of this place. We're gonna see the whole theater from the ground up. Okay, I think I just stepped back in time. If my mom is here, she'd be freaking out. There's gotta be some sort of huge significance that I'm just not understanding. But what could drive someone so crazy as to make something so beautiful? What was he trying to prove? Who was he trying to impress? Where'd they get the materials for this? Did building this just seem like a good idea at the time? I just don't get it. It's a mystery that might never be solved. But still, it's still great to look at. I'm really enjoying this. And the roof reminds me of the Sistine Chapel. Which also brings up the question, if that's the Sistine Chapel, what the hell happened to the other 15 chapels? The actual name of this location is El Teatro Nacional. Es muy bueno, en mi opinión. That's just me trying to speak Spanish again, but failing horribly, but that's just me. I will learn some more and get that over with on my own terms. Here behind me, I have a few of my classmates. And right now, I'm just walking through the rest of this place.
Legado cultural, representantes de las artes. ¿Cuáles artes? Evidentemente, artes europeas.
The Teatro Nacional. Now we're on the inside with the second level. What's with the doors here? Para caballeros. Is that a restroom? Señoras. These doors must be basically your version of a private press box at a football game.
So how, instead of saying 10 minutes, you could just say meet them here?
If you're wondering what's inside the doors, you'd have to walk over here, but everybody else in la clase wants to see it. Current date is still the 6th of January. It's about 19 minutes till midnight. I don't know why I feel bad. I don't know, I just do. I mean, things were going great. Got my homework finished. I don't know, I guess I'm just starting to feel this weird feeling that you feel like when you've been in another country for the longest time. I don't know why I'm feeling this so early, but now when I look at other people and when I see other people from the same nationality as me, I'm beginning to just, not feel as welcome as per se. I was just out with my friends. I don't know, just something just hit me and I just felt tired. And so I came back. It's not that I'm beginning to think that the United States is starting to feel like the foreign country. I don't know, I just kind of feel like I've had enough just for now. And I just need to stop for a second and just relax. Just take a deep breath, It's all coming at me really quickly, but what I kind of want is a good night's sleep. The sad thing is, I'm just about to begin the 4th day. 4th out of 26, I believe. God be with me. Well, I'm not gonna lie when I say that I feel better than I did last night at the very end. Now that I'm all well rested, it's time to go see what else but a volcano.
Shamu. Oh. Gumby.
You trying to mess up my little movie?
Hello. Hello.
He is, isn't it? So right now we're walking to the crater of a volcano.
Can't show my face or voice.
Okay, this...
Wunderbar.
On a serious note, we are traveling to the crater of a volcano, and this is kind of harkened back to the days when I was in Iceland, and I saw plenty of craters of the volcanoes and stuff like that. But this time, I want to see if I can get my wish. This time, what I really want to see is giant molten craters and fiery pits of hell. I want to see the lava, some of that dark and rockery little... You get the idea. Well, time to get walking. Hi ho, DeMario, walking we will go.
It's a pretty far away from here. That's what from the top of the volcano is. There's also a waterfall. Actually, in comparison to yesterday, it's a tad bit cooler. It's where I'm wearing a jacket. You never know what you find when you step into the Costa Rican jungle. There could be monkeys and alligators and all kinds of little jackrabbits and stuff. But I guess we'll have to see what happens when we get to the top. How we all feeling today? We are good. Ready to get going, Allison? You ready to get going up there?
Yeah.
Sweet. There's a sign up there. Let me zoom in. We're 400 meters away from the volcano.
That's a long way.
No, it's not. I've done distance running before. It's really easy.
400 meters is a long. I know, it's like tiny. Oh, it is?
We've got all the people with us, all 21 of us, just walking up now.
Ever. That's a really tough distance, yeah. Yeah.
Look at how huge these leaves are.
Yeah. Throwing that's horrible.
You're fine. I'm like, no, I'm dead after you.
I sure do hope none of us get lost. But if we do, that'll make this documentary a lot more interesting. We really screwed ourselves over this time, trying to stay back there and take a break in that shack. I don't even know where we are anymore, but I know that with no service on my phone and with very little film on the camera left, honestly, there's just very little chance of survival here.
Can we go further up?
We'll see, but we're losing our lead. We're screwed. We're trapped.
My glutes are on fire.
Nobody puts the boot to my glute. It's getting a lot darker here.
If you go out in the woods tonight.
Really?
Looks like I got some competition.
It's a time lapse, homie.
Yeah, you did.
Trying to steal my thunder. Oh, it's a hook branch. Ah!
Just let go.
Really? Let it go, let it go. At least it's not snowing at all.
My name is TJ. I like to go to the club dancing in my PJs. Chilling with my man, his initials is CJ.
I think we're gonna take a left. Alrighty. Hold on, there's a sign there.
I saw the sign.
Huh. Wow. Apparently this mountain is sponsored by HP. We finally made it. We are able to see an actual thing from this view that we saw earlier. It was none of the clouds, but now they cleared up after we took this loop. And I'd like to get some footage, but there's so many people in the way. I'm gonna see if I can get in. All right, everybody, make room, make room. I'm making a documentary here.
Okay, Joel. You are not entitled. Watch out.
Whoa. That crater.
Do you want to...
Oh my god. My good golly gosh, look at that thing. It's so beautiful. It's amazing. And yet I can't even comprehend how such natural causes could make something like this. Well, there you go. Here is a really good view from here of the volcano's crater. I think in the middle is just nothing but pure sulfur and ash and all kinds of stuff. I guess it makes up for the fact that I wasn't able to see something like this in its entirety in Iceland. Look at all the rocks. You can hear the shutters of people's phone cameras around us. It's pretty amazing. Imagine what it'd be like to skip rocks in the crater.
Yes, okay, yeah, move that cloud away.
Uh-oh, clouds are coming in. They're going to obscure our view of the whole crater. It's so beautiful. Now I can die happy. But I don't want to die just yet, you know, it's... Welcome back to Animal Planet. So now we are taking a look at animals and indigenous species that are exclusive to Costa Rica and many other Central American countries. Here we see this very nice turkey. There's the long tail at the bottom here. Oh, and there's another one over there. You can see he's walking and he's got the little waddle and stuff. And this one is going to join his friend. Now they're together. Well, look at how cute they are. Oh, 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 I me, young love. Aw, they're kissing. Either that or sharing food. In fact, I think they really are sharing food. But, you know, I kind of like to capture the moment. Beautiful. So beautiful. Now I want you to emote in this scene. You are birds that love each other. Ready, and action! No, you're walking away. Oh, he went to his trailer. Okay, cut. We'll take 5. And now we are in a bird cage with more birds. And who else? Here we see a toucan with a large beak. Oh, and there's another one on the ground. He's just standing there. They just fly back and forth in this small little cage. And of course, they are the two of them together. Hey, come on, this picture's PG-13. Don't you be doing nothing. What's he got in his mouth? A pebble? He's just putting it back into his little collection with all the others. Hey man, got any Fruit Loops? Anything? No? Huh. Maybe the parrots will talk back. Now here's something I thought I'd never see in Costa Rica. The twerking ducks. Twerk, 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 twerk. Go and get it. Woo! And this one's kind of over the hill. There he is. Say you please, Wabbit. It's Wabbit season. Oh yeah, look at that wing action right back there. Yeah. Work it. Twerk it. Flap them wings. I can make duck calls. I can see if I can try and call them over. And now in this very badly lit, awkward stance, I'm just gonna try and get them doing their little wing thing.
Dude, I almost went to get a slow motion video before that too. That would have been hilarious.
And here we have some parakeets eating and munching down. Like,
dude, you're gonna get blasted.
Let's see what they're eating. Ah, of course, seeds. Eating seeds is a pastime activity. The toxicity of our city, Anybody who knows that song gets about 10 bonus points on that one. I'll leave you to your lunch. And now it's time to take a duck bath. Ah, I'm getting wet! Ooh, you clean ducks doing your little wiggly wing thing. Now this one's gonna dry off. Don't go near any Nintendo games, whatever you do. Them laughing dogs will get you. Yeah, he's got the right idea. Look at that wingspan. And there it goes.
Oh my god, this thing's a monster. Who in the right mind had this as a pet?
There's a snakey. He's slithering about.
I guess it'd probably be worth a lot of money.
This is a non-venomous snake. He's very playful. This is the Matisvus mentrovarius, otherwise known as the neurotropical coachwood.
When red touches black, red touches black.
Alright, let's see if we can get him to move. Ooh, he's got little tongues. He's very hissy. He's gonna have a hissy fit. All the way up there now.
Imagine seeing this thing in real life.
I am tired of these monkey fighting snakes on this gosh darn Monday to Friday plane. Here are a few facts that you should know about Costa Rica. Costa Rica is a Central American country which is bordered by Nicaragua to the north and Panama to the southeast, just to give you a general idea of where Costa Rica is on a map. Costa Rica is very unique because in the way that they came about as a nation, they were different from other Central American nations that were under Spanish rule because they didn't get themselves into too many conflicts, and many of the people that ruled the nation at the time had many agreements as to being able to make sure that everybody is taken care of, almost as if the whole state became a welfare state, which it did in fact become. It was sparsely inhabited by indigenous people before coming under Spanish rule in the 16th century, but it was a very dry Spanish rule. Now here are a couple things that make Costa Rica very unique. Costa Rica actually doesn't have an army. Their army was disbanded long ago, well, not too long ago, in 1949. That's when the army was de-established. Costa Rica has consistently performed favorably in the Human Development Index, or HDI for short, placing 62nd in the world as of 2012. In comparison to other Central American nations, Costa Rica is seen as the safest. When it comes to the socioeconomic trends of Costa Rica, it's not that there's a lot of poor people in this nation. The actual wealth and resources of Costa Rica are spread out in such an uneven fashion that it's very unequal as to how people live. In one part of the town, you could have the absolute richest people of the country living there, but right on the other side, you could have the poorest people country living right there. It's kind of how split up the wealth is. Also, here's another fun fact. In 2012, this nation became one of the first ever countries in the Americas to ban recreational hunting. Yeah, if I was in the United States and I heard that, I would just think to myself, there's just no way that could be possible. It's like you just go up to somebody on the streets in Texas and be like, hey, you can't hunt animals anymore. And I'm like, and they're like, guns. When it comes to the weather in Costa Rica, it can be pretty unpredictable. One day it could be really hot and really sunny, but on another day it could be really cold and really rainy. And sometimes the weather can just change up on you here and there really quickly and really fast. You could be up in the mountains and suddenly it could just start raining in the next second. Okay, right now I'm gonna take some time to collect my thoughts and work on my homework, or tarea en español, for everything that I need to prepare for tomorrow. Hopefully things can go really well. Things are going better than I've actually expected, but you never can tell unless you really gotten your feet completely soaked. Good morning! We have made it to the first Saturday, and man, is it just so worth it to just sit out here in the sun. Here we are in the beautiful ports and oceans side of Limon. And this right here is basically what I've been waiting for. Sitting and soaking up the sun on the nice 80-degree weather in January. And I got my swimming trunks on today, and we're gonna just, go around, see the town, learn about the culture, have some fun. How about I give you a grand old tour from the balcony up here? Surprisingly, I think the best part about seeing the sunrise here is just seeing what the ocean really looks like. Unfortunately, I really can't attest for the beach side here because it doesn't look all that clean, in my opinion at least. But still, very nice. Yeah, this is what it feels like to be on the equator in the hot sun. We all got up pretty well. We all, just had a pretty good night last night, but now we're about ready to, hit the dark, murky waters. Or is that the best way to describe it? I don't know. How's your breakfast, Zax? Good? That's really sad. All you have is a literally little bottle of water, which only has about 20% left. Well, I'm just gonna, just take for the matter that everybody else is enjoying themselves too. Yes, it's just that kind of beautiful morning. This is the moment that I've been waiting for. We are out at sea in the tropical hot weather in the middle of January. I have never done anything like this before, and this is what you would call a culture shock. I'm here with my bud James now. And right now we're about to go snorkeling and we're gonna see some fish. Let's do it. Well, after all the fun we've had snorkeling, it's good to just kick back, because right now we're on a nice secluded island all together with nothing but our phones and some pineapple. So now I'm gonna cop some. This is my new best friend Becca. How you doing? Good. Well, so far the documentary's looking great. Boom. Carrie! All right. We found a coconut.
Are y'all wet? Here, I'll take it.
Is there milk inside?
We gotta cut it open, Marshall.
Yeah, okay.
Most is banana.
Ooh, this water.
Pineapple, no. Burn them.
So they won't.
All right.
What piece should I eat? Any piece?
Well, no, this not.
I do that exact same picture.
Oh, that's
pineapple.
Or can you just take it of my hand?
You have to eat like
We're
this.
different skin colors, that's why.
So,
No.
let me know which slice I
You're
get.
actually much tanner than me.
Dude.
Oh, in arms? Am I?
Which slice do I get?
Also a little hairier.
It sure does.
Oh, you did get that pussy right? Full.
This is rated PG!
We're gonna have to change that. Yes, I didn't hear it.
You're gonna have to bleep it out.
The water's warm. Pineapple's great. We're just having the time of our lives.
Girls are hot.
They sure are. Oh, if you could only be here now, Allie.
So good for munchies.
Time for a relaxing pineapple sesh. This is great. All right, I was walking around on the beach, on the playa, and look what I found. Monkey. Where is it? Oh, it's in the tree somewhere, but I don't see it. Oh, there it is. I heard a noise. Where do y'all see it? Where do y'all see the monkey?
There's like seven all over. There's like six.
I can see a good view of the monkeys. There's one. Look at him eating. There's a monkey in the tree. That's a lot of monkeys. There's a couple of them behind. Okay, all that fun we've been having at the beach is now officially over. We are in the indigenous parts of Costa Rica. We're on a boat now. We're headed to the indigenous town of Joaquin. This river's pretty long. The fact that we have to stay on this boat for almost an hour, somewhat of a toil, but at the same time, it's breathtaking to see these incredible views. In an indigenous town where electricity barely exists, we're about to see what it truly means to live in Costa Rica. Swifter than eagles, stronger than lions! We've arrived back at the camp. I found a nice small hiking stick that has been cut. And here, the waters are a tad bit more tranquil. Tranquil, if you may. And so, I could definitely say and assume with the best intentions that this is the perfect place to do a small bit of rock skipping, which I'd greatly enjoy. Here my friend Zach is skipping a couple rocks. If you hold the camera. One at me. Go. The other way. Upside down. It's upside down.
It's working though. It switches.
No, the film doesn't switch. It's just tricksy.
I promise you.
Well, as always, the real secret to skipping rocks is you need to try it with a flat stone. Here's a flat stone. You want to make sure that you find something with the edges round and smooth. That was a good one. Everybody else is getting their feet wet.
Yo, not that way, Marshall.
Let's do one more good one.
Throw it away from the group though.
Marshall.
Oh, come on.
Very nice.
I only have like 3 gigs of film left. We can't waste it using it. Okay, this one ought to do it.
Promise?
That's a good one, Mark.
That actually was really good.
That's how you do it. After walking further along, I spotted some small tadpoles in a pond. Soon these will grow up to be full-grown frogs. Definitely a rare delicacy of the land. Something that you don't see every day. But where the actual grown-up frogs are, I do not know. We're closing in on the inhabited land. Where we are just almost borders Panama on the map. We're about to stop by a small building. We'll see what's inside. We have the rare opportunity in participating in one of their greatest traditions. This tradition of grinding up these beans here is what's done to make chocolate. Unbelievable as it sounds, but I believe it when I saw it and when I tasted it. I cracked open one of these nuts, and it tasted like the purest cocoa that I've ever tried. If you could smell the smell here, you would smell it just smells like really pure chocolate. Now, with the purest of the chocolate, she was removing the skins of the beans and the cocoa beans that have been dried up for about 3 days by shaking the little bowl here. I don't know how she loses, the skin without losing any of the pure chocolate, but that's just a very ingenious way of doing things that has probably lasted through the ages and stood the test of time. And now, we move on to the final part.
¿Es completa?
What's going to happen now is that they're going to grind up the last of the purest parts of the chocolate into a mash.
It's at the bottom.
It's like real cocoa powder. You could just put this in anything. Put it with sugar, put it with malt. Eat your heart out, Hershey. Can't wait to taste this. The final product with the grinding of the oil with the cocoa beans, it gives us this sort of mash stuff right here that looks like brownie mix. And now, with the final ingredients here, we're gonna make something good. Mixing the byproduct of the grinding with some milk makes the chocolate very sweet. Very familiar if you have had chocolate before. I can't wait to taste this.
You sound really excited.
Julie, you sound really condescending.
Shots fired.
Very nice. Put on YouTube. Yeah, the one
Now what the bananas will be used for, I'm not quite sure, but...
Bueno,
to eat.
aquí está para usted con el banano.
Ah, yes. You dip the bananas in.
You can try this one first to try that, the original one, the original taste.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Now I'm going to dip the banana into the final product and see what it tastes like.
Oh, that's bitter. It's like 100% Straight dark chocolate.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Good stuff, though.
Let's plate it.
Someone grab me.
Which one is which?
This is especially delicious.
Usted solamente sabe español y dejó atrás su lengua materna.
So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He says that's what happens with us with the Bribris, that we only learn Spanish when we're young, when we're little kids. And then now they're trying to teach us English when we're already grown up. I mean, not English. They're trying to teach us Bribri when we're grown up. But now it's just really hard because we never really heard the language. We never really used it when we were youngsters.
It's days like this that are just the absolute best because I'm just lying back, relaxing, not caring about a thing. And the best part is, it's the middle of January. Probably might have said that beforehand. On the off chance you might have heard it already, I apologize, but this is the life. This is what it's all about. Here we see the nice and comfortable hammock with the nice and comfortable man in the hammock.
Pura vida.
Pura vida! How's about we give him a little push? There goes Connor. Having a good day so far, TJ?
Oh yeah, dude. Got some good tan lines. Working on sprint snorkeling. That was good.
Ready to hit that karaoke bar tonight?
Oh yeah.
If they have Aerosmith, I'm a totally cop. If they have Led Zeppelin, I'll think about it.
I'll sing anything from Jimmy Buffett to, I don't know, the Ramones. That's what I... These people are going running.
And so, there you have it. Thus ends the first weekend of the study abroad course. Puerto Viejo and all the other places we visited, they were just amazing. Especially the first beach we saw. I had quite a great time. Today we just went home, celebrated Lexi's birthday, and now we're getting ready to enter into the next week of the study abroad course. There's been so much that could have happened to make this a lot worse, but thank God that it didn't happen, honestly. So far though, I've had myself just a very enlightening experience. I'm beginning to see really just the advantages of living this laid-back lifestyle in Costa Rica, where some of the stresses of life aren't as prevalent as they are in the United States. Maybe I'll retire here. Maybe I won't. But for now, the next thing we're going to be focusing on is our next day trip excursion. Tomorrow, we'll be going back into downtown San Jose, and we'll be doing a little bit more sightseeing and culture seeing. That's what I'm going to call it. Until then, I've got even more homework to do. So now, let's get ready to warp into the next day. Here you go. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Ah! Oh my god, we just warped into Jurassic World. Actually, this is a mall that we found that's pretty cool. It's got some cool stuff, and it's got a Johnny Rockets. I'm here with my best buds, and we're about to eat some food. Okay, so now I'm well fed. We're back at downtown San Jose. I bought some souvenirs for home. Things are looking up. The next thing we're about to do is see some more historical, cultural stuff. All right, let's start that walking process. Here we go. 1 foot in front of another. Rinse and repeat. That's all you got to do. I'm here with all my compañeros, as always. There seems to be a bit of a altercation. Oh, we're waiting for someone. That's fine. So in this bag right here, I bought myself a bucket hat. I got a nice t-shirt, beads for the girlfriend, and a mug for the mom. Mug for my mom, yes, because she likes skydiving.
We almost got killed by a bus.
What?
We almost just got flattened by a bus.
Why? Where's the bus?
It was back there. You didn't see that?
Well, no, because I wasn't taping it. And everybody knows if you didn't film it, it ain't real.
That's not true.
I know I had sex.
What? Hey, come on. This is a family network.
kid, it happens.
Oh, she's taking the same.
What's she doing?
In my times, the entrance was this.
We seen a bit of an altercation, so I think I'm just gonna take a small break, and we'll be right back, folks.
So, what was it like being an extra in Cannibal Holocaust? Ah, interesting. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Hey guys, me again. Sorry to interrupt or anything, but I just want to let you know right now, I've actually changed secret bases. My last one's been discovered. And by discovered, I mean I got kicked out of it. So we're coming into the last 30 minutes of the documentary, and I'm sure all of you have plenty of questions, such as, Marshall, are we going to learn anything else about your little excursion? Marshall, are we going to get more shots with your friends in them? Marshall, why is your hair combed in this shot and not combed in the last shot when you were playing guitar? Well, I'll try and see if I can answer some of these questions. But before I get into that, there's one more thing I need to explain about this trip. In this excursion to Costa Rica, all 21 of us partook in something that we now see as something very important. We're of course talking about ecotourism. Now, ecotourism is a term that refers to participating in touristic events that pertain to the environment, specifically pertaining to sustainability and the promotion of sustainable activities for the environment. To put this in perspective, our whole entire trip consisted of activities that were environmentally friendly and good for the environment. They're environmental, if you may. And in my opinion, after going on such a trip such as this, I really think that ecotourism should be the way of the future when it comes to people vacationing. I'm all behind it. I honestly feel like this is something that I've participated in personally that really does mean a whole lot for me and for everybody else around me. But that begs the question, can someone like you participate in ecotourism? Sure. If you can find it, just Google it, just tell all your friends about it. I really think it's going to be something that becomes more popular in the future. Hashtag ecotourism. Come on, let's make it happen. Okay, about the last bit of the documentary. This last part is going to focus on all the fun things that we all did while we were in Costa Rica. We did some fun things in the first week, but we also learned a whole lot in that first week that really just stuck with us. And in the last 2 weeks, I think the thing that stood out the absolute most would have to be just the fun things that we did, or the ecotouristic activities we participated in that stood out the most. I'm going to put in some action shots, I'm going to put in some wide angles and GoPro shots of people doing stuff like flying and jumping and going crazy. I'm going to go ahead and edit that in right now, so here we go. Let the games begin. Oh, my phone. Alright, so now that we're done with classes, we're going to do something we haven't done before that's actually pretty cool. We're going to go go-kart racing. By the way, I'd just like to point out that this go-kart place is right next to a guitar shop. Sweet. This is where we're racing. Those are our carts. So let the race begin. And they're off! In first place, we have both Zachs at the running, and then Kat's in third place, followed by Jessica and Isabel. And in last place, currently, Karen. Just at the start of the race. We'll see who can get the fastest time. Someone's trying to get past. Ooh, right off the cone. Coming over the hill now, we've got Carrie turning in. And there he goes. Let's see if Zach can handle that drift better, and he doesn't. And up they go again. I believe that's Kat, I think, turning in? Yes. You know those cones are there for a reason. Coming over the hill is Isabel and Jessica, right on each other. And there goes Carrie. Nobody can make that inside turn after the speed. But, surprisingly, Carrie is now in first place. Coming back over the hill on the other side. Ooh, this is a nasty crash. And yes, Zach takes the inside. Oh, right on the outside. She is gone. Kat is just out of it. She needs some help to get out of the pits.
right, looks like she's back in the game. Uh-oh! And it looks like someone just joined him. They never give up. But uh-oh, Luke is coming in. Ha! I knew Zach would get it eventually. Well, we had ourselves a pretty good race, but now I'm at the soccer field, and now I'm gonna get some POV footage of playing soccer with the boys. So here we go. Zach, get it back. Jack, you get it back. It's up. I got it.
MC Brown is down. How you doing? Oh my! He's going in the blooper reel for real.
Boom, headshot.
Get that. Marshall, come on.
All right, Marshall, get up.
Marshall.
Okay, I'm getting up.
Oh my God.
I'm a champion.
We have to watch that. All right, that was great.
Goes to the pass under the inside. He shoots! And with his shirt off, he stands proud with a good layup. He's doing his victory dance. Is that even legal? Looks like Zach calls a defensive play. It's really getting serious now. He looks into the inside, tries to go for the layup. He shoots! He scorches! We're experiencing a little bit of rain here on the court today. Hopefully that doesn't affect the players. Oh, doesn't make the steal, but goes in for the inside. Zach has the ball. He shoots. He scores! 3 points! Amazing shot right there. Not every day you see that kind of wonderful performance. Zach has the ball. He dribbles, he goes in for the layup. Oh, stolen by the Thunder. He looks onto the inside, makes the pass. Andrew makes the layup. Oh, completely bricked. That's gotta break his confidence right there. Just look at him. So what do you guys think of the trip so far?
It's been pretty good.
Sexy. How so? What about it's been exciting?
Yeah.
Well, so far, I, really like the different places we went to. Oh, hey, adopted sister Giselle and friend Andrew.
Andres.
I'm not friends. No, we're not. Here we are in beautiful Monteverde, and my God, this is what you would call a view. If you look in the very horizon, you can see the actual Pacific Ocean. Just look at that. Oh boy. The clouds, the shimmering sunlight, everything's just so green, and we're high up in the mountains too. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not kidding when I say that I can't even hear anything because of the pressure, but that's okay. By the time we're done for the weekend, we'll get back. We'll get back.
Marshall,
Hello there, cat.
are you videoing?
Yes, I am. Everybody's up here.
What's up, Marshall fan club? Are you?
Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones has her own Marvel show on Netflix. Before we leave off, here you see some bugs. They're pretty dangerous. It's very rare that we get to see these close up. Just look at these beautiful landscapes. The trees up top. Definitely quite a sight to see. Well, if there's one thing that Monteverde is known for, it's the cloud forest up in the mountains. Definitely a sight to see. And with everybody else, we're walking up. Let's see if there's any natural wonders of the universe that we can find here. Right now, with the exception of a few footsteps in this part of the forest, all you hear is nothing but the sound of my voice and the birds around us. It's peace and quiet. You could hear a pin drop. To be here and to alleviate myself of all stress, to meditate and be one with nature would be absolutely perfect at this time. So join with me for the next minute as we stay quiet together. And here it is, the top of the mountain. We're like right up where near the clouds are. I guess that's why they call it cloud forest.
When I wake up in the morning with the sunlight in the window that covers me from this bed, I step outside after breakfast and I see the forest around me, and I always ask myself this question: oh, why doesn't anyone join me out here in these rolling plains? It seems as if they're all oblivious to the fact that it's all going down the drain. This is our planet, and this is our home.
Oh, hell yeah! This is so worth $50!
Well, this is it. This is basically what all that horseback riding's been leading up to. This waterfall might just be one of the biggest in all of Costa Rica, if not the most beautiful. Just look at these landscapes. Capturing this on camera can't even describe in words how beautiful this is.
El nombre de la fuente. El nombre de la fuente. Se llama Catarata Río Fortuna.
Catarina Fortuna, yeah, that's the name. Alright. Well, I think the only logical thing to do here is just to do what anybody else would do. Remove myself of all of my clothing and jump in for a nice, cool, refreshing little dip. Well, I'll tell you, this is just absolutely magnificent. Just look at this giant waterfall behind me. Right now, this is the end of the second weekend, and we're heading into the last week of our excursion here at Costa Rica. So far, so good. Class-wise, I'm sitting pretty. I'm gonna need to do well on the final exam if I want to get in the end of class. But I think I can do it. The last week, we'll see what happens. For now, I'm kind of feeling this little feeling of remorse. Almost as if I don't want to go home. But the show must go on. And now, it's time to head on back. But geez, I could just stay here forever. Just look at this thing.
Ariel could do it. Oh my god, it sounds so fun.
Ahora puedo usar mis subtítulos. ¡Hey yo! Lo siento, este es un programa de español. La idioma de Costa Rica es español y es necesaria para aprender y hablar en español. En este país es oficial. Y ahora voy a hablar con mi familia en esta casa. Ven acá. Este es mi familia de Costa Rica.
Hola. Hola.
Este es mi madre de Costa Rica, Olga, y José, y mis compañeros nuevos, Daniel y Erquito. Pero yo de aquí. Cristian. Ahora, me gusta mi tiempo en Costa Rica. Yo aprendí mucho. Y tu comida es muy bien.
Ajá, bueno. Que dicha que le gustó la comida.
Ay, sí, hay mucho.
¿Le gustó la casa?
Sí, es muy bonito.
¿Y la familia?
¿Y la familia de aquí?
Falta José. José no está, pero está estudiando. Pero...
Ella es la otra persona en la casa.
Exacto.
Y José, yo necesito...
Que se quite el sombrero, diga.
Pelo blanco.
Y no es necesario, me gusta tu sombrero.
Que se lo ponga.
Bueno.
Ahora esta es mi familia y yo viví con mi familia para todas las semanas aquí en enero y, y me gustó mucho.
También fue muy agradable haber compartido con Marshall estos días, un gran muchacho, muy estudioso, y esperamos que le haya gustado compartir con la familia y puede venir cuando guste a Costa Rica. Esta es su casa.
Muchas gracias. Okay, gonna take a moment to speak a little bit English. My next thing I gotta do after my final exam is gonna be going to the last place on the trip. I'm heading down to Manuel Antonio para las playas. Let's see what happens next. Alright, let's say adios, guys. Adios! Muchos gusto. Hey everyone, just woke up. Still feel a little bit tired, didn't comb my head, didn't shave or anything like that, but right now I'm just stretching everything out because I'm about to head into the last weekend of the whole trip. I'm basically about to leave the house that I've been living in for a whole month now. Said bye to the host family and everything. This is basically the last time that I'll be stepping out. We're coming to the end of the trip, and I've also taken my final exams for the class. So far, so good. In fact, I'd say that really this is where the vacation starts. Yeah, but that will only last for about 10 days until February 1st. So I'm going to enjoy that a whole lot. I'm really going to enjoy that. What am I going to miss the most about living here? I'm just going to miss how quiet everything's been. The fact that I've been able to back up my footage with the Wi-Fi that I've sparingly used, that they've allowed me to use just for that and emails. I think I'm going to enjoy the fact that that the host dad, Jose, my host dad, let me borrow this classical guitar that I've been practicing on. Overall,
It's a little sad that I'm going so soon. I've only feel like that I've just gotten to know them, and I wish that I could stay here longer, obviously, but, you know, I gotta get going, but, because I don't have that much time left. I'm gonna just eat breakfast, say goodbye to Olga, my host mom, and yeah, next stop, basically what would just as well as be the last stop. One of the most beautiful beaches in all of Costa Rica. Manuel Antonio. Here we go. On our stop in, on our way to Manuel Antonio, we found something very peculiar. We found a crocodile parking. Yeah, that's right, a crocodile parking. There are crocodiles everywhere. Like, so many crocodiles. Get your heart out, Steve Irwin. This one's just waiting. I wonder if one of them is like Dino Croc or Super Gator. This is pretty huge. The fact that we're seeing all these crocs. Lots of crocs. I like that one, I like that one, and that one, and that one, but not that one. That one's stupid. Zane, what do you think about all these crocs? Pretty cool. Okay, which one do you think has the crock pot?
That one. There's just one underwater.
Oh, yeah. Do you think any of them are wearing Crocs?
That one is, you can see him. The one that's walking now, he uses his Crocs to walk in the water.
Alright, I'm gonna call him Mr. Crocker.
Crocker?
Yeah.
Davy Crockett?
Davy Crockett, don't you cry for me. Don't you know I got an oldie with a banjo on my knee. That's enough crocodile puns for now. Of course, we wouldn't be here without our beloved professor, Dr. Bravo.
They have had the greatest time here. I'm sorry that you missed my spontaneous moment, but this is okay. Win an award, please.
This is as spontaneous as it gets. Don't worry about that. So where are we all headed? Going on the inside? Oh, everybody get this. She thinks this whole thing is a fraud. You see that? This girl right here thinks it's a fraud.
It's so zoomed in on you.
Yeah, I know. I can see him zooming in on my face.
I'm absolutely sure, but she was behind us, right? She was not.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely sure.
We're arguing as to where Roxana could possibly be.
He's gone.
Oh, yeah. And like, if we pay attention, especially look at other groups, and they will be looking at something.
Well, we finally found one. A monkey. Right standing there, just on the side. And another one is joined in.
Oh my god.
This is great. This is what it's all about. Coming to Costa Rica and Manuel Antonio to see some monos.
Marshall, shut up.
It took us the whole vacation to finally find one, but we did. There it is. A sloth. You know, even you can learn something from a sloth.
Oh, he's looking.
If everybody reacted this way when I was up for 2 hours a day, I would definitely sleep for 24 hours.
Even you can learn something from a sloth. This right here is almost like a dream come true. God bless this beautiful pool water right here. Here's all my friends. Andrew's about to pop in, I guess.
Make sure I don't have any shit.
Nope. Yep. Doing a little pocket check. In you go. Alright. I'm probably about to do the same thing. I can't believe that I'm looking at these beautiful landscapes. I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but it's so worth it. Oh, I was just taping me by the pool right here. By the way, we got a pool in the hotel. We got a poo! I want to be your friend.
What?
And there's Zach. Having yourself a ball, Andrew?
I'm enjoying this.
time is it?
A lot.
It's 10:17 now.
Okay, yeah. You can use it.
By the way, I'd just like to take this time to point out that statue that's over there. Just that statue right there.
It's definitely, it catches the eye.
Yeah, it's just interesting. That's what it is.
There's another one behind you.
It's an interesting,
I need not point that one out.
interesting take
Yeah, exactly what he said.
on art.
Oh, this feels so good.
That's basically what I've been saying since I got here. I can't believe I'm actually here in the middle of January. For the people back home, this is what my snow day has been like. Perfect snow day right here. Look at all this white sand. Feels so good. So great. There goes Becca! Ooh, so close. And yet so far. Yo, right up the shore, dude! Here comes Zach, hanging 10. Yeah, look at that. That's a good ride. And there goes Carrie. Oh, wipeout! And here she is, star surfer in the middle. It's Allison! And there she goes! Look at that form! Beautiful! Just beautiful!
Thanks, Marshall.
And here they come! Oh, look at that farm! Yes! Looking good! Looking real good. All right, I will. Here they come! Oh, look at them all go! And Zach is the surfing champion! Watch out for that wave, Carrie! Yeah. Surfing's pretty fun. This is the last stop on the tour. That right there is the plane that's going back to the United States of America. All the people are getting into this thing, and by all the people, I mean all the people. See if I zoom in right here with my 8x optical zoom. There's Jen and Becca waiting in line with everybody else. Individually, I think they could all basically say the same thing, that they all enjoyed the trip. There's everybody else. Nice Allison. And Teach, just being bored. So do any of y'all have any last words?
Peace out, Pura Vida.
Marshy Marsh and the Funky Bunch.
Out.
Out. That's a great way to end that.
It sure is, isn't it? I'm zooming in on your face! Here we come, America. Here we come. United States. All that. That was the most awkward zoom ever. But alas, it's time to fly. Whoa! Here I am at the very back of the plane. Okay, actually though, I'm not gonna lie. I really don't want to go home. Costa Rica was so beautiful and luxurious and fabulous and full of green stuff. I really wish I could just stay there in such a tropical paradise. Don't you, Julia?
Yes, I do very much.
I really don't want to go home. Let's just get out of the plane right now. Let's Julia,
You're gonna see your girlfriend.
Oh yeah. Now I do want to go home. Well, I'll tell you, I'm back in the United States, and it's good to be here, especially because I am now basically in a country where Dr. Pepper exists. They don't have this in Costa Rica, so I'm glad I've got it now. So I am going to drink it. I missed you so much. Oh, I missed you so.
Well, after all those days of being there and living there, here we are, back where I've been interrupting all this time, in the editing room I call my apartment. But now, it just feels so weird to be back here. After taking this huge step out of my comfort zone, I kind of wish that I didn't even get back into my comfort zone from the get-go. But here we are. The vacation, the trip of a lifetime, the class, the experience has all come to a close. And so does the documentary. So now, it's time to finish things up here. First of all, I'd like to thank you very much for watching this entire thing. I sure do hope you learned just as much about Costa Rica as I have. I'd like to take this time to thank all of the staff members who worked at ICADS and at Elon University to help make this possible. I want to thank all the people who put the potato chips in the bags. I don't know why I did that, but it's important to do that. I want to thank all of my 20 other colleagues who have, taken the time to really just be on this trip and really learn something from it, because, we all did the same thing, and I think we all had a lot of fun in the process. I also want to thank you for naming the GroupMe after me. But of course, the first name of the GroupMe is where the title of the movie comes from. I also want to take this time to thank my parents for supporting me throughout this entire trip. I really had a great time, and I've traveled with all of y'all in the past, but this is probably the first time where I went on a trip where I really did learn something meaningful. Not that I'm saying that I didn't learn anything meaningful in the past when we went on trips to Iceland and the Mediterranean, but this just, I'm just stepping out on my own. Again, outside of my comfort zone. Now, I also like to take this time to thank my host family, especially my host mom, Olga. Olga, muchas gracias por darme tu bienvenido de tu familia, de tu casa. Me gusta tu familia y me gusta tu comida, especialmente. And finally, if there's anybody else I'd like to thank, of course I want to thank Amy Johnson and Dr. Vanessa Braver for really bringing together all of the elements that made this trip especially important. It was definitely an experience that I will always treasure, and I sure do hope that you will do the same thing. But now that everything is over, I gotta really just, start from scratch. Gotta do second semester stuff. It's time for me to set out on my next adventure.
Yo, Marsh.
Kelly.
It's time for the game.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, you don't even know how much I've missed the basketball games. Ugh.
We've missed you too, Marsh.
Really?
Oh, your shirt's on backwards.
Thanks.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Man. Alright. Do I look good?
Oh, yeah,
I'm not even going to tuck it in yet. Let's go.
Alright.
Oh.
And now, it's picture time!